Well, hi everyone, I'm Judy Elliott and welcome. For the next few minutes, we're going to be spending some time with Celeste Creswell, who is a candidate for Superior Court Judge for Whitfield and Murray County. And again, thank you so much, Celeste, for letting us come in and being with you today.
Thank you, Judy. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you and let people know what I'm about.
Right. And you know, a lot of people may not realize you have really deep roots here in the community. Tell me about that.
I really do. I was born and raised here. I have a lot of family that lives here. I'm really proud of my family. 5 wonderful nieces and nephews. And I also have deep roots in the faith community. I was baptized at Grove Level Baptist Church, and now I lead the deacons at Christ Church Presbyterian.
That's right, and it's so wonderful to know so much about you as we get into the interview. Let's talk a little bit about your educational background, since you are from this area. Tell me, where did you go to school here?
Well, I went to Pleasant Grove Elementary, North Whitfield Middle, Northwest High School, and I had a wonderful education. I'm so thankful for the education that I received here, and it enabled me to get a merit scholarship both to college and to law school, and I was able to graduate in the top of my class from the University of Georgia School of Law.
That's wonderful. And I also was reading about you were valedictorian in high school.
I was. It was a long time ago, but I was.
That is wonderful, though, that you are so deeply rooted in our community. And I'm not sure a lot of people really know that, but I'm so glad to hear more about you and your family. And I know family is very, very important to you.
It is. That's really what I spend most of my time on is my family, my church, and I view my church family as a part of my family.
Definitely so. Let's talk a little bit about your community involvement, because I know that I've seen you around a lot of places that I go with serving and helping people and being part of the community. Tell me a little bit about some of the involvements that you've had with the community here. Just some of them. I know we can't get them all today, but some of those.
Sure. Well, one of my major involvements has been the United Way. And when I chose to focus on a few community involvement issues, I decided that United Way was a good way to do that because they cover so many different areas. I served as the board chair. I also served on the Community Investments Committee, which decides how to use the funds that are raised and really focuses on trying to keep them here in our local community, and that's very important to me.
Yeah, definitely so, especially being on the Finance Committee or any of those board parts of United Way. Any area that you give back to the community with the United Way is certainly a great blessing.
Absolutely.
Let's talk now about your professional experience, because that is so important with the position that you're as a candidate about. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, as I said, I graduated from the University of Georgia School of Law, and
the top
after that,
10%. I'm gonna say that for you. Okay? You may not want to say it. I'll say it for you.
I did. That's true. And because of that, I was able to get a judicial clerkship. So I worked for a few years with a federal judge who was a trial judge and who really taught me a lot about deciding cases, who taught me a lot about managing a heavy docket that has both criminal cases and civil cases on it, prioritizing both of those types of cases, and rendering fair, just decisions that people can really understand, that they can understand what the basis for the decision was and why it was made, and read about it in plain, simple English. It's also important in that respect to know that I've handled cases not just here in this Superior Court, but also in a lot of other courts. So I have a broad experience with a lot of different lawyers, a lot of different courts, and in a lot of different types of cases. I've represented both plaintiffs and defendants. So I haven't focused my career on one court or one type of case. It has been spread across a broad spectrum. I think that gives me good perspective in performing the duties of a Superior Court judge.
Right, so you take your experience plus the knowledge that you have, and you're using those, and that's a great experience. I know you said you had a lot of mentors as you've worked through the years.
That's true. I've been practicing law for 20 years. This is my 20th year, And that's a little bit hard to believe, but at
Yes,
the
it
same
is.
time, it's not. I'm proud of each of those years, and I learned something different from a different judge or a different lawyer that I was working with or even against over the course of those 20 years. And I'm now ready to take that experience and put it to work serving this community.
Right. Take that next step forward to make that happen. I know that it's very important to you, your commitment to ethics and professionalism. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, I serve as the Deputy General Counsel of my firm, and that's kind of a fancy title for saying that I help my partners to decide whether they're adhering to their ethical duties, whether they have a conflict of interest that might affect one of their cases, and I talk through those issues with them. And that's a wonderful part of my job because I really view the practice of law as a profession, and we need to hold ourselves to high standards. So I'm proud to be a part of that in my
Definitely.
law firm. I also was appointed by a judge to investigate allegations of attorney misconduct. And while that's an unfortunate thing to really have to think about, I think it's important for someone to step up and do what needs to be done to keep the standards of our profession high.
Right. And I know that, not only you're qualified, but also fair is one of your main dedications as well. Impartial, devoted to justice. I think those describes you very well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that, Judy. I've never run for office. I don't have any political ties. I've never campaigned. I've never been active in a political organization, and I don't owe anyone any favors. I want to do this because I truly, truly want to be a public servant. I want to combine my passion for the law and my passion for public service. I think that sense of fairness, that sense of I don't have anybody to answer to except for the people, the people that this court serves, that's a great thing in my view.
Definitely so. Well, I want to pause here for a moment because I want to take a look and let's hear what some of the people who know you best say about Celeste Creswell and what they feel is so important about who you are. All right?
Not only is Celeste a good and honest and fair person, but she truly wants to make a positive difference in this community.
Celeste is my sister, and I've watched her succeed all throughout her life, and she's always done by working hard, and she's always done it with integrity.
Celeste is one of the brightest, smartest people that I know. She's caring, she's very involved in our community, and she's just overall a very, very good person.
Celeste will always do the right thing. Vote for Celeste Creswell for Superior Court Judge on May 24th.
I know that Celeste would make a great judge because she's smart and kind, she's loyal and trustworthy, and she's loved by anyone that knows her.
Celeste has a passion for the law and does everything with her utmost integrity.
I have known Celeste since she was 8 years old. I'm married to her older brother, and one of the things about her growing up, she could do anything and she excelled at it. She was great at sports, she was great with her studies, and when she went off to college, she had her choice to be anything she wanted to be, but she chose to go to law school and to be a lawyer because that is where her passion is, and she loves the law. And I think she would make such a good judge because she's passionate about justice and to see that justice is done with everyone.
Celeste is extremely knowledgeable and honest and fair and would make a great Superior Court judge.
Well, Celeste, we've heard some great reasons why from people who know you best, why they feel that you would make a great Superior Court judge. I want to ask you also about, I know you were also appointed as on the Merger Commission for the city and county government. Tell me a little bit about that and what that involved.
Sure. It was called the Charter and Consolidation Commission, and that was really the purpose of it was to study whether the city and the county governments should merge. Mm-hmm. And I was asked to serve on that commission. I decided that I would do that because I grew up in the county, I live in the city now, and I really care about both communities. In fact, I grew up in the northeast corner of Whitfield County, and only about a mile over the line from Murray County. So I really consider myself to be a citizen of this entire area. And the reason that I decided to serve on the merger commission was that I want everyone to succeed, and I think that by working together we can do that. And I really enjoyed serving on that commission. I learned a lot about the government of both the city and the county, and about how it works. And really, I was thrilled to see so many people that really put their heart and soul into serving the public each and every day.
Right.
It was a wonderful experience.
Right, and I like what you said just a few minutes ago, that you really care so much about all the area, not just a certain spot, a certain area, but you care about the people in all the areas.
That's
that you
true.
serve.
Yeah, I really do. I think that my life experience living in different places and with different people has really taught me that.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about, I know you also was appointed to help resolve cases in Superior Court. Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. I'm a registered mediator, and that means I serve not as a lawyer in that function, but as someone who tries to bring parties together so that they can actually resolve their case, which really alleviates some of the burden on the Superior Court. And I've enjoyed that very much, and I was asked in a few instances by one of the Superior Court judges to help with particular cases, and I was honored to be asked.
Right,
to
so you
serve.
really already kind of had that experience.
I have, in fact, that's true.
Very good. What about other things that you would like to let the viewers know about you? What other things would you like for our viewers to know about Celeste Creswell?
Sure. Well, I've had a few questions asked as I've been talking with people and telling them that I'm running for Superior Court judge. And one of those questions is, Celeste, you work for a great firm, you have a good job, you have a good career. Why in the world would you want to take a pay cut and go to work as a Superior Court judge? And my answer to that question is simple and true. I want to serve. I absolutely love the law and I love this community, and I want to be able to combine those two things so that I can be a public servant who also serves the law and the greater good and justice. Those are all things that are important to me.
I think that's great, and I know that, again, I wanted to reiterate something from what you said earlier, the way you grew up, too. I think that's interesting and well taken about how you were taught as a child. Tell me about that.
Sure. My dad was Bob Creswell. We lost him a few years ago. But he really instilled in us, in me and my two brothers, that you have to do the right thing all the time. And you do it when somebody's watching, and you do it when they're not. It doesn't matter if anyone can see. You do the right thing. And that's the way I live my life.
Wonderful. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for giving us your time to sit down and share who Celeste Creswell is in our community, and we certainly appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judy.